We actually watched the movies.
Yeah, we watched some movies. Unfortunately, we don't have a whole lot of time to get into them. But I'll start just really briefly with what I saw because I will say maybe two sentences about it. We saw Paddington in Peru, the aforementioned British film series about that cute bear who loves marmalade sandwiches. If you've seen the first two Paddington movies, well, one, you know that they're some of the best family movies to come out in the last decade. I wholeheartedly recommend them if you have not seen them. They are fantastic, whimsical, funny movies in every possible way. Absolute classics, both one and two. Three, less so, but not to that crazy of an extent. It's still a very, very good movie. It's still very funny. It still has like very wonderful moments of like fun, whimsy, and adventure. I will say it does when it gets into the adventure through kind of Indiana Jones-esque stuff, it not as good. And a lot of that stuff feels a little bit like the movie stretching, especially towards kind of the middle. Um, but by the end of it, it still has that emotional heart that you want from a Paddington movie. Uh, all the actors are just as charming as ever, especially on her A game Olivia Colman, who is just the funniest thing in this movie. But yeah, it's a fun time, a great family movie. So if you like those first two, absolutely go check out Paddington in Peru.
Well, I'm glad you had a fun time at the movies.
Oh no.
All right. Well, one of these I saw in the theater, one I was watching at home. Let's start with the Apple TV Plus film, The Gorge, starring Anya Taylor-Joy and a mustacheless Miles Teller. I had some hopes for this film. I was like, okay, you have me intrigued with these two characters who are on the opposite sides of the gorge, who cannot talk to each other, but they have to defend what's in beneath, what's in the gorge. And I thought, okay, that's a cool premise. If that was the premise, I would have liked this probably a lot more than what they actually got. Because at every single turn, I guessed what was coming next, because this is about as basic as an ass script of an ass movie as you can make out of an ass budget. Just rattle off the typical cliches in a action sci-fi romance movie.
Yeah.
Do your leads like have to meet and kiss? Yes. Do they fall into the gorge? Yes. Is it run by a shadowy government? Yes. Are they fighting the undead? Yes. Do they have to blow it up at the end? Yes. There's your movie. Nothing about this feels original, even though I looked it up. It was like, this has to be based off a book or something. No. Apparently, this is an original script, but based off video game elements. And maybe that's where I'm getting a lot of this from.
Maybe.
But this is about as basic of an ass movie as you can get. If you have no concept of like what a good movie is, you might have a good time with this. But having like guessed everything that was going to come out like next, it was like, oh, I know what the twist is. I know where you're going next. I know exactly what's going to happen before you even say it, before it even comes out of your mouth. I know exactly what's going to happen. I don't know if that means I've seen way too many movies or if this is just a bad script overall.
Both can be true.
Both can be true. And yeah, don't do what I did and fall into the pit that is the gorge. Instead, just go watch the pit and you'll have a better time at the pit.
There you go.
But yeah, don't spend your time with the gorge. Don't do what I did. I have a much longer write up that you can find on mediaboatpodcast.com. But just don't do what I did.
Okay, I won't.
But that does bring me to the next movie, Captain America: New World Order.
No, that's not what
Or
it's
that's what
called.
it was called before everyone decided to change it to Captain America: Brave New World.
Yes.
All right. Now, let me set this up for you. Sam Wilson is Captain America. Sam Wilson is not a super soldier, but the government has developed a new super soldier serum and they want Sam Wilson to take it. But because of his events in Falcon and the Winter Soldier and learning from the previous Black Captain America, he doesn't want to take it because he feels like he's just being experimented on by the government. So he is now it, but he kind of needs to take it if he's going to take on superhero threats because he's not Steve Rogers. Steve Rogers had superhero strength and superhero serum. Sam Wilson does not. Don't you think that you as Captain America need a superhero serum to like stand up to everyone?
To do Captain America shit? Yeah.
Yeah, you'd think he'd want to do that, right? Or you think he'd need to do that. So that's his internal struggle through the entire film is do I succumb to the government of yes, I need to be the superhero, or can I be a superhero without taking a super soldier serum? But then a great catastrophe of the Red Hulk emerges because Sam Wilson refuses to take the serum. So General Thunderbolt Ross says, "Give me the damn serum." And he injects it with him. And instead of being a super soldier, he becomes the Red Hulk. Now it's Captain America, the normal everyday guy, zero superpowers, versus the Red Hulk, a super monster rampaging through the city. Can Captain America stop him? How can an everyday normal guy stop this rampaging Hulk? That sounds like a good movie, right? Because that's probably what the first draft of
Yeah.
the script was. And then it got torn to bits and reworked and reshredded, and not the movie we ended up with.
Yeah.
Ugh, there's so much hope for this. I could see where I'm pretty sure what I just pitched was the original pitch for this movie. But then Marvel had said, oh, but wait, we need to add the celestial body that because we need to wrap up that loose end because we're not going to wrap it up in the next a couple of films. We need to include all the Hulk stuff, more Hulk stuff. You're going to have Red Hulk. Let's include more people from the Hulk from 20 years ago because people still remember that. And we have some loose ends there that we want to tie up. And you're gonna be a Captain America movie? Let's make this more of a espionage movie like a Captain America Winter Soldier, because everyone loved that movie. And ultimately it feels like this movie got so many movie notes and editing notes that it's not the movie that they intended to make. And I can see all the edits in here. Giancarlo Esposito does not need to be in this thing. He is totally wasted in this thing. Uh, Harrison Ford, I understand why they got him because William Hurt died, but damn, do I not believe any of his anger in anything? He's
Yeah.
there as a name only and just being grumpy instead of angry, and I couldn't stand it. If you watch any of the trailers, you already know what's going to happen. It's going to be a fine movie. The actual like action set pieces are pretty good, or at least like standard to like a Marvel film. But all in between leading up to them is dragging and boring and not engaging for a Captain America film.
Yeah, no, yeah, that lines up to pretty much what everybody's been saying about this thing, which is just seems like it was not focus grouped, but like boarded to like Disney and Marvel Studios boarded to death. Like they were just like,
Mhm.
well, we want it to be all these things, and we want it to be the big comeback movie for Marvel. People love Captain America. They'll come back to theaters for Captain America, right? As long as we check all these check marks. The only thing is that when you do movie design based on check marks, is you lose the reason why you're making the movie in the first place.
Yep. And it
And
definitely
that
felt like
seems
the
to be,
heart got sucked out of this.
yeah, that if you don't have that
But
heart,
like I said, there was
yeah,
definitely something in here that could have been what I like resembled like what I said, what I
yeah.
just pitched here. Like
I mean,
it's there. All the lines or thoughts are right
yeah,
there. They just took it out and tweaked it so much where it's like, well, if we do
yeah,
this, that means we have to get rid of this. But like
right.
you just keep picking, and the heart of your movie just slowly shrivels up.
And that's the thing is it's happening to a lot of stuff with Disney right now. I mean, remember the thing like, oh shoot, breaking news. 52 minutes ago, Major League Baseball and ESPN have mutually agreed to end their national television deal after the 2025 season.
Oh, that's next year's problems.
Sorry, anyways, back to, I guess that's technically Disney. So I'm not
Yes.
really making you too crazy of a segue here. No, but anyway, real quick, it reminds me of this stuff like they're just like across the board seem like studio by committee at this point. Like that Pixar series that just debuted on Disney Plus, the whole debacle about removing the episode with the trans character.
Mhm.
Like I don't care because that happened. Now I don't care to watch that show at all. And I was really excited for that show prior to that
I
happening.
forgot that debuted this past week.
Right? That's the thing, is that this is what speaking of people walking on themselves, like I said about Phil Spencer earlier, Disney does not realize that there is things we like to see. We want to see Captain America movies. We want to see these characters on screen, but they're compromised by committee decision making and by corporate thinking. And we're not getting the things that the fans actually would love to see and bring in droves. And so, like, I don't know. It just seems like a company that just keeps hitting themselves in the head.
Yeah, I don't know what they plan to do, but like this was their last Earthbound hero movie before we
Yeah.
get into uh Fantastic Four, before we get into Doomsday, Avengers Doomsday real soon.
Yeah.
Um, there's not a whole lot of like actual Marvel projects between now and the eventual like all coming together movies. So
Yeah.
like this was supposed to be the one following Deadpool Wolverine from last year to bring people back to the theaters, to get people excited for the end, the new end phase of this saga. And this didn't do it.
No, this wasn't it.
No, it felt like they wanted to tie up some loose ends and ended up just tying themselves in a knot. Just couldn't do it.
Yeah.